The show is Storage Wars, where people bid on supposedly secret contents of abandoned lockers.
You get the out. Really? Yeah. Ready? Really? That's it. That's it.
It's no new story that most reality shows are a make-believe arrangement. Still, there are just those shows whose collection of stars has left a lasting impression on the viewers. Such is the Storage Wars TV reality show, which has taken hold of viewers' hearts since 2010 with its many intrigues, suspense, and adventures of unraveling hidden gems. Viewers have also been glued to the stars' personalities on the show for years, being a part of their development. And now, you will never believe what has become of these stars. Are you a fan of the intriguing Storage Wars show? Well,
there, 145 here, 145 there. 155 to beat you. 155 there, 165 where?
Join us as we unleash some of the most shocking revelations about the show's stars, even as we reveal some surprising behind-the-scenes secrets you wouldn't believe existed. Overview of storage auction reality television. The Storage Wars reality show can be a lot more for many people. However, you wouldn't be wrong to consider it one of the best existing auctions reality shows on television. Indeed, thrilling is one word that can be used to describe the show. However, hold on tight as there are some things that you need to know about the show. When dealing with auction reality shows, things are not as easy as you think. We know that things can get really exciting on the show. Still, you must remember that many events in the shows are literally dramatized and deliberately made enjoyable strictly for entertainment purposes. So while all the show's scenes can be fascinating, you might also want to pause to observe behind the scenes. However, the difference is pretty much blurred for shows like The Storage War, as you would encounter drama on and behind the scenes. The show was kickstarted in 2010, featuring open biddings for mystery treasures that may or may not be profitable. Through the show, many exciting personalities are introduced to the public. It gets fascinating when we consider the behind-the-scenes drama in their lives, which makes up the show. Dave Hester. Of course, no reality show can stand without its unique characters, some playing the villains and others playing the protagonists. This brings us to Dave Hester, the antagonist and mogul of the Storage Wars show. In fact, he is regarded as the most controversial buyer on the show. He's accused chiefly of being loud and uninhabited. He is known for his signature catchphrase, "Yoop," which he had boldly written on his car and always spotted during tense situations. His fame spreads out as a tricky fellow known to outsmart his fellow buyers. All of these might not be so good of a report, but Dave Hester was basically part of the life of the show while he was featured in it. But you won't believe what happens next. In 2012, things went downhill for Dave Hester when he was asked to leave Storage Wars for reasons apparent to the public. However, known to be one who stood up for himself, Dave Hester did not take this action against him lying down. He was going to sue A&E, who were the producers of the show, calling the show a sham. He also accused the show of being artificial, saying the organizers had planted interesting items like classic cars and rare newspapers in the so-called abandoned storage lockers. According to the lawsuit, Hester would not keep short until its demands of $750,000 were paid. But in 2014, peace reigned again, with Hester being born with some money that hadn't been disclosed. Following all these dramas, Hester surprisingly returned to the show later. Still, it soon ran into problems again in June 2020, when he lost in lawsuits against Public Storage. This was because he had sold out the contents of an abandoned locker for $11,800, unaware that a plot twist was just around the corner. It was later discovered that the original locker owner had their rent up to date. Hence, the sale was nullified by Public Storage, leading to another legal battle. While this was all on the show, Hester had other behind-the-scenes drama in his life. He started his own auctioneering for hire company and began to serve as a consultant in the industry. So, even now that his contract on the show has ended, we are assured that Hester's impact on the industry will continue to be felt. Dan and Laura Dotson. While Dave Hester didn't have such a smooth journey in the Storage Wars, the likes of Dan and Laura Dotson had an entirely different story. Their story is not just one of a beautiful bidding experience in Storage Wars, but also a tale of blossoming love that will make anyone blush. Back in 1996, the couple had met in the auctioneering business. Watching Dan work so hard during auctions, using his fast-paced shatters, was all it took Laura to be smitten by him. And right there, she decided in her heart that she would marry him. Love blossomed from that point, and they soon tied the knot, which led to the birth of their son named Garrett. Their role in Storage Wars was endearing, with both couples carrying out crucial tasks like overseeing the bids, purchasing the various strange storage units, and settling every problem among bidders. Their journey in the auctioning business is fascinating, as it did not stop even when the show threatened to be over in 2019. Instead, the loving couple moved on to focusing on their auctioning business, leveraging the fame they got from the show. Their auctioning business, known as the American Auctioneers Wish They Ran Alongside StorageAuction.net, soon became a huge success, which blossomed even after Storage Wars. But their union is not without struggles, as it would seem. The couple's first encounter with tragedy started when Laura got pregnant. During that time, Dan was diagnosed with a twin brain aneurysm and was said to have a 20% chance of survival. Still, fortunately, he survived owing to his fate and the unrelenting love that Laura showed him through it all. But that wasn't the end of their troubles, as tragedy struck again in 2020 when their son, who was 22 years old at the time, got accidentally shot during a drive-by shooting outside an Airbnb in Arizona. It was a heartbreaking situation for the family. While Garrett battled for a long time, he eventually scaled through. During that same time, cyber attackers attempted to infiltrate their business to get essential bank details and other sensitive personal information. Thankfully, the tables were turned, and the events led to the freezing of all compromise cards. These are just some of the few examples of the things these couples have had to scale through, even in their union of love. Renee and Casey Najota. Now we come to another inspiring pair in Storage Wars, Renee and Casey Najota. For these two, the auctioning world was not a new experience. Renee, on his part, was already a successful German-American bidder. Their principal occupation was hunting for amazing collections from locker auctions to stock up their bargain hunters thrift store even before they joined the show in its 5th season. However, their joining the show opened up a new chapter in their lives, endearing their many fans. Their thrift store business prospered even more following this, and this prosperity continued even when the show ended temporarily in 2019. It was a second-hand 7,000 square foot store in Ponier, San Diego. Alongside the store, Renee and Casey Najota also run a stall-branded YouTube channel to cover live auctions, display some of their most exciting collections, and present unboxing. Their channel has about 90,000 subscribers and has been another platform to garner more fans. While their story is a story of growth, Renee and Casey Najota's most challenging moment soon came when they encountered a robbery due to the exposure from the show's vocal bids and a lack of proper security. The incident led the pair to reaccess their business approach to security, which has become beneficial in the long run. So, an overview of how well they have been doing since they came into the public eye would be positive. Daryl Sheets. Daryl Sheets is one interesting character and former cast member of Storage Wars. Known as the Gambler, he was able to blow fans away when he joined the series in its 2nd season. Sheets built a reputation for taking risks and making bold bids on storage units that paid off almost every time. At one point in 2012, he even closed off a shocking deal by releasing $3,600 for a storage unit whose content landed him a mouth-watering $300,000 in return. Shocking, right? Well, it gets more interesting as his journey on the show showcases successes and failures in the competitive world of storage auctions. Sheets' love story was also kindled on the show when he met his love interest, Kimber Worrell, whom he wooed in the most interesting way. Interestingly, he would follow her for miles when he spotted her while driving on the show. The crux of the moment was interesting when they crossed the intersection in traffic, and Sheets held up a paper with his phone number on it. To everyone's surprise, a beautiful marriage came out of that counter. Personal challenges for Sheets included health issues, such as a heart attack, which he faced during the show. But despite this, he continued participating in the storage auctions, contributing to the show's dynamic and unpredictable nature. Following this in 2019, he made an Instagram post, now deleted, revealing a struggle with a lung infection. The man seems to be doing health-wise at the moment, but he has encountered other struggles, including a divorce from his wife. Sheets left Storage Wars after several seasons and has now retreated to a more quiet life in Lake Havasu City, where he seemed to be rekindling love with Romney Snyder, who was the worker in a horse rescue, until his wife began to enter into the picture again. Indeed, Sheets' time on the show left a lasting impression on fans. Justin Bryant. Justin Bryant is one of Storage Wars' late stars whose impact became intensely felt as swiftly as it came. As a teenager, Justin Bryant was already inspired by Storage Wars. Desiring to be on the show, he soon bought storage lockers and gathered momentum strong enough to make him noticed. In 2017, he finally joined the show as the youngest bidder, 22. Following this, Bryant did not hesitate to rank up as one of the most successful bidders on the show. Interestingly, his success on the show enabled him to bag up enough money to buy his mother a house, and he also introduced his brother to help him on the show. Indeed, Justin Bryant inspires many when considering what is possible for the young. Even after his short time or Storage Wars, the adventures in the young man's life seem to be going really well. One of his most remarkable achievements is his marriage with Evelyn Leon and the birth of his 2 daughters, Kayla and Riley. Currently, Justin runs a YouTube channel called That Boy Brazzy, where he has managed to stay connected with his friends, showcasing a personal aspect of his life where he carries out little pranks on his wife and daughters. Mary Padian. Known as the Junker on Storage Wars, Mary Padian is one unique personality who graced the show with her presence when she joined it in its 5th season after transitioning from Storage Wars, Texas. She's recognized for her unique style and expertise in evaluating items found in storage units. She is known for finding treasures even in the most unlikely places. Before her fame on Storage Wars, Mary ran her own antique and furniture restoration business, Mary's Finds. Her passion for repurposing and transforming items is evident in her work on the show. Even after the show, she continued in her treasure hunting business. Her background in the antique business and love for vintage items greatly influenced her finds, which came under the tagline, "Totally Coiled Treasures." But away from Storage Wars and treasure, Mary also seems to have a knack for charity. The ship partnered with Ubuntu Life, which is known to be an organization that helps needy children in Kenya. Because of her partnership with them, she sells traditional handmade bracelets and bags, demonstrating her heart and her hunt for treasures in the most unlikely places. Jenny Grumbles. Remember the Storage Wars' famous dazzler, Jenny Grumbles? She is one exciting figure on the show who has done pretty well for herself even after the show. In the later part of the show, she rose up the ladder of success as the primary go-to expert when it comes to furniture. Driven by her fascination with revamping furniture pieces and selling them all in her Dallas-based furniture boutique located in Uptown County home, Jenny Grumbles has indeed made a name for herself in the world of treasure hunting. But it got interesting when she recently revealed another aspect of her interest: the arts. This love for art has led to her opening up an art gallery wherein she displays various art, including abstract art, portraits, landscapes, and still lives. Her other remarkable feats include gaining sobriety and having a bouncing baby boy, Thompson, in 2014. Brandi Sheets. Entering the show as a supporter of his dad, the famous Daryl Sheets, Brandi Sheets is one brave character to feature in Storage Wars. After supporting his dad for a while, Brandon was brave enough to step out of his father's shadow and become a fierce bidder. He was so engrossed and adventurous in the craft that he found himself bidding against his very own father in an auction. While his presence in the show entertained viewers, something surprising happened. Brandon was dropped out of the show after 9 seasons, for which he expressed his disapproval. In a deleted Instagram post, he revealed that he had to leave the show because of budget constraints. At another point on social media, he called out A&E. In the end, he maintained a good connection with the show producers. At the same time, he got into other ventures, such as real estate management and even driving for UPS, displaying his adventurous personality and ability to adapt to situations. Tom Beers. You might have loved the Storage Wars show very much. However, There would be no show without Tom Beers, who has proven to be a seasoned television producer known for creating and producing reality shows, including Storage Wars. Indeed, his fame never began with Storage Wars, as Beers has also been involved in various other reality TV projects. But apart from being the show's producer, his impart is also significantly felt as the show's narrator, making fans fall in love with his personality even more. Outside productions, he's also a great achiever, owning an estate to himself, which he calls Quatre Quesas, meaning beers in Spanish. He rents out this property for deluxe vacations, showcasing his brilliance and creative ideas when providing pleasurable experiences to the public. Even after Storage Wars, Beers is still up and running, producing other blockbuster reality shows such as Deadliest Catch. Let's just say that the man is an inspiration and will continue to be forever. Barry Weiss. In the list of the original stars for the show, you would find Barry Weiss, an older and brilliant fellow in the group. He was known to have a more relaxed disposition to things even while landing precious finds during auctions. But no one saw it coming when Barry eventually dropped out of the show after 4 seasons. After this, he took to featuring in other spin-off shows. And in 2014, he became the lead character in a show called Buried Treasure, where he traversed the U.S., scouting for hidden treasures. But the show only lasted 8 episodes, and Barry returned to the screens in Storage Wars. Barry Strikes Back. The show was centered around revealing hidden scenes from the Storage Wars. Also, it featured his co-star Kenny Crossley, running for 10 episodes. Amidst his numerous adventures, the worst happened when he got involved in a motorcycle accident. According to reports to TMZ, he had been hit by a car while riding. The incident has kept him hospitalized for 2 whole months in 2019, with numerous surgeries conducted to fix his back and femur. Following his recovery, Barry is now a global brand ambassador for California's Sherwood Valley Casino. Brandi Passante. You probably remember this lady from Storage Wars through the many lively scenes on the show. During her time on the show, Brandi kept viewers hooked with her roller coaster experiences alongside her partner as they beat for storage units. Indeed, her success on the show inspires all, displaying the reward of hard work and resilience in success. However, this is one star on the show whose life wasn't so smooth afterwards. Even after the show, Brandi was still in the public eye, sharing her experiences with fans on social media platforms. And in the process of her speaking up, she revealed going through a series of domestic violence and even got a free tattoo to show her narrow escape. But if that wasn't enough, in 2020, Brandi tragically contracted the COVID-19 virus. Still, she was bold enough to share her experiences with the public, detailing her recovery process, but her troubles weren't over yet. In 2020, Brandi lost her father and went through a breakup almost at the same time. Recently, she has retreated to the background, committing herself to being a good single mother to her kids while maintaining a private life. Well, who are we not to respect her choice? Emily Wares. In its 10th season, Emily Wares took Storage Wars by storm with her parallel skills in the auction business. Born into an auction family, the craft ran in her blood. At age 10, she was already working in her father's auction company and was already a master of the craft by the time she turned 17. Before joining Storage Wars, she had featured in several reality shows, including Tom Beers' Money Barn. Interestingly, Emily had also tried her hands on music, featuring as a contestant on America's Idol. However, she was swiftly eliminated from the show, with Keith Urban, Jennifer Lopez, and Harry Connick Jr. voting against a continual stay. By the time Storage Wars ended in 2019, more exciting things were still coming up for Emily. That was the year when she got married to Cody Kru. Following this, she successfully welcomed her daughter into the world, and as of 2022, she is said to be expecting another baby, Kenny Crossley. While Kenny Crossley was already in the storage locker business for a long time, he only became a significant character in the Storage Wars shown in its last 3 seasons. Before this time, he had only made a few appearances. He's known for his fantastic charisma and enthusiasm while scouting for hidden treasures, while always using his famous catchphrase, "Kenny, do it." Even after Storage Wars, Kenny Crossley's life still bubbles with activities. His website shows he now manages Jackie's Praline Company in New Orleans. He does this alongside working on his YouTube channel, which bears his catchphrase as its name. Here, he discusses various topics and shares exciting aspects of his experiences. Prigoff. And now we come to one of the most diversely talented stars on the show. While Prigoff had a strong presence on the show, he had quite a handful of other important things going on for him. He was the proud owner of a River Regency boutique focusing on arts and other amazing furniture. But it gets more interesting as Prigoff was also a podiatric doctor running a podiatric clinic in Dallas. What made him very outstanding is the skillfulness and efficiency with which he married his enormously diverse interests. Sadly, however, Prigoff passed away in 2021 following a 6-year illness. Ivy Calvin. If you are familiar with Storage Wars, you would know that the famous king of Palmdale is none other than Ivy Calvin. Being a versatile and experienced treasure hunter even off the screens, Ivy Calvin deserved his spot on the show. However, he was more than just a Storage War treasure hunter. Ivy Calvin had multiple talents encompassing both professional football in his early years and his love for martial arts, which got him into the rings and won him a victory over Samu Samu. He now runs a thrift store known as Grandma's Attic, which has recently transitioned into online sales following the outbreak of COVID-19, showcasing his ability to adapt to various life conditions. Jared Schultz. Jared Schultz had quite the past before he started his journey with Storage Wars. In 1997, he was arrested for issues like controlling drugs, driving under the influence, and transporting narcotics. 2 years after this, the whole scenario repeated itself again, and in the climax of things, he was soon sentenced to a 16-month jail time. Coming out of jail was the beginning of a new dawn for him. He was quickly introduced to the storage business by his aunt, who ran a public storage facility. Starting up his business, you connected with a partner, Brandi Passante. Storage Wars soon found them both, and they became a significant force to be reckoned with on the show. The pair were tightly knitted and often boasted that they were partners for life. Recently, it was revealed that the pair never tied the knot, and worse still, it was announced in 2020 that they had broken up in 2018. The issue's climax was Brandi Passante pressing charges against Schultz for domestic battery. The summation of all these revelations shows that sometimes we might just have to look behind the scenes to truly understand the characters of the stars we admire on reality shows. What do you think of the Storage Wars stars? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below.